This week we studied a portion of Shoftim, which is filled with many commandments. In chapter 18, verse 9, we read the following commandment. God reminds the Jewish people that the people who inhabit the land of Canaan are people who seek fortune tellers, sorcerers, magicians to help them learn about their future. Tells us God that this is an abomination to God, and therefore we must not learn from them and never follow in their ways. God concludes the commandment with the following words, Tamim tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. Translated, be simple-hearted with God your God. How do you become simple-hearted with God? Rashi is pointing out to two ways. The first Rashi says is, walk with him simple-heartedly and look forward to what he has in store. That's number one. Then, says Rashi, do not probe the future, but rather accept whatever happens to you simple-heartedly. Rashi concludes, then you will be with him and his inheritance. Says the Rebbe that Rashi is pointing out that the proper way to live in life for a Jewish person is by living in the present. And that's why Rashi says the first point he's making is walk with him simple-heartedly, realizing that God is our guardian, realizing that God is watching over us and protecting us, and we have nothing to fear and worry as long as we follow in God's path. As long as we allow God in our life, God is our guardian, and therefore no worry about how will I achieve success, how will I be healthy, how will I live through the day. Then, addressing the other point where we look around and we find other people who follow sorcery and look into astrology to learn about the future, and God tells us it's an abomination to God. If a Jew is asking, how will I prepare myself for the future? How will I know what's in store for me in the next week, next month, and next year? Shouldn't I prepare myself better for the future? For that, Rashi is telling us, do not probe the future, but rather accept whatever happens to you simple-heartedly. In other words, God is commanding us to realize that the greatest pleasure and the greatest gift God gave us is the present. That's why it's called present, because it is a present God gives us, and don't allow it to be tainted by the fear of our future. Don't look into the future, don't probe into the future, don't seek to learn what will happen tomorrow, but rather concentrate on today and now. If you do so, Rashi concludes, then you will be with him and his inheritance. The greatest pleasure is when we are with God, very close to God, because we are following God's commandment. And this, my friends, is the lesson from this week's portion, that as long as we enjoy the present and allow God in our life, we have nothing to worry about our future. We have nothing to worry at all. I want to wish you all a good day. Thank you for listening.